they will kill. And you will think Bokwari is actually, in fact, you will look back and see Bokwari's time and say, Buhari time better. Imagine in this life, after everything everybody passed through there, some of you who japa, and then some of you who couldn't make it. And some of you are there asking God, why? Why to Shedam in Nigeria? Imagine that in fourfold. That's exactly what Tinubu represents. It's not going to be there. You won't see him. He's never going to be around. So when they took him out when they took him out today, you know what they did? They turned off his Bombardier plane. They turned the tracker on it. They turned it off. So that usually, right, if you go, there are websites, right? If you go there, you can see all the flights going in and out of all countries. Okay? For example, if you know somebody who is coming from America, somebody close to you, and they say, I'm going to be flying from Dallas to this or that, right? You can track the plane from where they are living until they get to Nigeria. You can track a plane from Nigeria to anywhere in the world they are going. You can. And then politicians, right, who are criminals, they can hide under radar. But there are those who can still track them too. Drug dealers. Drug dealers have private jets. They have all this, right? They want to go under the radar. They don't want to be tracked and all that. They turn off the tracker. I don't know if I'm talking nonsense anyway. But they shall turn off the tracker. We couldn't track Kolu. Sure you get. I don't know if I'm talking nonsense because that's not my field. I shall read this somewhere that they couldn't track. But it was obvious that the plane was going to Europe. Right? The plane was what? Going to Europe. And it could only go to two places. UK or France. As for UK, he has his family here in the UK. He has a house here in the UK, not in his name, but he has a house here in the UK. And the people who are giving him medical treatment, who are actually treating him, they are here in the UK. But he has a house in southern France. I've been at south of France. So south of France, where he bought a new house as well, sometimes in 2015. When Bokwari showed him Shege the first time in 2015, he left Nigeria in 2016 to Guinea-Bissau, from there to south of France. Yeah? So now we are saying that if he left because of his health, then he's coming to the UK. If he left because he wants to go and rest and form his government, then France is, is in the UK. Now, this is how you're going to be doing. This is how you're going to live. This is how you're going to have to do your stuff. This is how you're going to be tracking your president. This is how you're going to be checking if he's alive, if he's around, where is he, and all that. Prepare, in my own opinion, don't be say with the wish I'm anything, because Kolu, as you see him, is a whole package, comic relief, and at the same time, generational curse. Anybody with the curse touch, now them they tell the story. I'm not joking with you. Bokwari is a curse, but some people feel like it is not. I understand. But a person where the thing touch, now you go what? Now you go sing ula bala ula la la or ula balu bula bala bala bulu bulu bala and all. When Nigeria touch you, this time around you won't be singing Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Kai Baba, Kai Baba. When Nigeria grips some people this past 7.5 years, people they shout Sai Baba, Sai Baba. I'm talking about the Sai Barbarians, Sai Baba, Sai Baba. They change it to Kai Baba, Kai Baba. All of you, where they say Bala, Bulaba, He say bala blue. They say bulaba. He say bala blue. I say, what do they talk? He say with the greets. You the greets, Abi. You will sing. And of course, the line is there. Bula balu. Bulu bala. Or bala bulu. Bulu bala. A-B. Eh, why need anything punishing? You know, sometimes when something they happen to you, say I bind, I lose, I fire. All principality in Jesus' name. Fire, I catch fire. And waiting you see the fire. This one you know go see and go they touch everybody and say, why God? Why? Why? What have I done? You've not done anything other than whether directly or indirectly. You brought Kolu upon yourself. That's enough. Okay, let's stop. Let's talk about something serious now, okay? Because it seems this is just like comic relief. Let's get serious, all right? Among the Atiku's petition to the what do you call it? To the Presidential Petition Tribunal, PPT. Atiku said it's called the highest valid vote. Kolu no get education. Kolu no go school. True. And in fact, he's a drug dealer, former drug dealer. Once a drug dealer, he's always a drug dealer. Kolu is a drug dealer. Same thing, that Obi is saying, Now they are holding Atiku, they hold one. Your two balls. Sorry, women, right? Two balls. Men have two balls. As I'm talking to you right now, yesterday, was when the news broke that Peter Obi is not just asking about rigged election. He's talking about this rigged sick man. Now, wanted criminal. Don't reward him. So yesterday, they say, when the whole news broke, now the two korokpo of Tinubu, Obi they hold. They started saying, I am pained. I am pained. So why are you pained? So I'm pained because of all this ethics law, because of this election. Election is over. Let the healing start. Now two korokpo that they hold. Now from there, they tell us that Atiku don't submit too. If I say now the same thing they asked for, we don't even know who go be that one's eyewitnesses. Kilowi, Atiku. He's also asking about Jamie Foss. What is it called in Chicago, sir? At Obi no, yes, and Obi too. Emma Bemilos UK. My uncle me the rest in me. I can never rest here. Emergency. So we wish him well. We wish him quick recovery. Even the Obidients that are chasing him, they're like, if you see him, hold on. Anywhere where you see him, grab him. The Obidients are now saying nothing must happen to Kolu because nobody they wish that shitty man to come and deal with them immediately. They are not wishing because they say, Kolu, you go pay for what you do. Don't run away. Then bring him back. Say, well, if you see him back, now when you see him, you see him. They're saying one go form in government abroad. Do you think that's a trip that somebody will go for 2 days or 3 days or 1 week? Daily Alake and the rest said Tinubu traveled to go and form his government. Form his government. Ijero Ekiti, no dey there. The first place, the first state he won, Ekiti. Ekiti has some beautiful mountains. I'm not kidding. Ekiti has mountains, hills, and then waterfalls. Very lovely place. They're not taken to Ijero Ekiti, Abi Ekiti, Abi Ishero, Abi Egbek. You know what I mean? Now the emergency, whatever it is, I'm not saying he has what it takes to get his own lawyers and all that. But I think the news had to prompt that. So he's not coming back anytime soon. Look at them. APC, Egbe. They will start counting days. Once they say, Tinubu is better now, he's coming back in a week. You see, this my ego said he's not coming back. Now, Ashwaju is coming. Oh, get. Every 4 years, your life will be going down the drain. But you will turn to prayer warrior. Some of you, as you are dying off in whatever condition you find yourself that time, they will still ask you, you need to pray for your president with the UK, they collect medical care. Sure you get. So of course, they will have to give you something, all right? Which, in my own opinion, it's never really going to be enough, right? So something happened. Look at these guys. You see these 3 guys? They are from Iperu in Ogun State. Are you with me? You see the one that is riding the Okada, that is pointing his hand. His name is Adamo. You see the one that carries the ballot box. His name is Lekon Oscar. You see that one with the back with dread. His name is J-Boy. They are all called Omo Governor. They are working for Dubious Dapo, the Ogun State governor. And you see that ballot paper that they are carrying. Now Dapo send them. Sure you get. They call him Egbon. We are doing it for Egbon. We are doing it for Egbon. These guys are cultists. To start with, they are cultists. And if anybody is looking for them, please go to Ogere Togeti. That is their base. They are dangerous, armed, and they are members of APC. Egbe. So some said that the same Okada they take carry Tinubu come and say, you guys play too much. Please, slow it down. So here is Atiku's petition, where is petitioning the presidential petition tribunal and stating there that Kolu is a criminal, okay? And the election is rigged. And if it has to be done, he is the rightful winner. So they give them 21 days now to start the whole hog, right? But something happened today, which is quite interesting, right? It happened in Abia. Remember that most of the controversial places where APC rigged their elections, right? It didn't take much time before they declared them. Almost see what they did in Kaduna. When they were losing, right? Hell Rufaya stopped the election declaration and they postponed it so as to go and manufacture the numbers needed, okay? And they can right away announce the winner and tell you to go to court. Go to court if you think you are not okay. Here you guys. They rigged them out in they rigged PDP, you know. Now, whoever can rig best anyway. So PDP rigged them out. They rigged PDP out in Kaduna. So PDP now try to rig them out in Adamawa. Right? So PDP that tried to rig them out in Adamawa, they got their own election postponed. But you see the people of Abia, Enugu, where the Obidients have been facing the serious violence attack from this PDPO, Eastern Nigeria. So, Abia State with 13 local governments or so, I've been at 17. Their election announcement got postponed till today. Sorry, announcement, yeah, the results. You know why? One local government. Okay? So PDP already lost. Labour Party leading them with over 90,000 on the collated result. Now, one local government remain. In that local government, I think they said they have 30,000 registered voters or something. Then they are the 20,000 accredited. That means those who came to participate in voting, right? Then PDP came and they dragged all the ballot box, everything. Blah, 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 blah. So that then delayed the result because by the time PDP was done, the local government, that same local government, PDP came out with 108,000 as vote for PDP. Can you believe that? 108,000 from one local government, really? So that delayed them. Okay? So until they said they should go and count the result from the beavers. Their beavers. So when they checked, they now realized that indeed 20,000 voters were accredited. Okay? But just about 13,000 actually voted. Where did PDP get 108,000? All right, at the right time. So you see this woman, Nena ya Oti, she is the vice chancellor now, not substantive anymore. I think she's the vice chancellor of the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. She is the returning officer for Abia. So they said she insisted that the results inside the beavers should be counted, collated, before she would then announce the winner of the election. When they did, Alex Oti, who was leading anyway, lost the local government in conversation, right? The local government, he lost, and PDP won. And PDP only won the vote of 9,000 or so. And he got 3,000 or something. By adding that to his already high number of 90-something thousand lead, they had no choice but to declare him, making him the first organically elected governor in Nigeria due to Peter Obi's wave. From the ground zero, he was, he's a former GMD of Diamond Bank, I heard, Alex Chioma Oti. He's been struggling and fighting to be governor of Abia State for God knows since when, 20 years? 16? So, with him, as the first elected obedient governor, INEC declared eventually, after all attempts to rig, organically, he is the first obedient governor. And with him, the Peter Obi and his people, in a journey of 10 months, they have been able, despite all, against all odds, attack violence, manipulation, and every other thing, they have been able to get one governor, 8 senators, 34 House of Rep members, 68 House of Assembly members. Imagine if they didn't rig them. It would have been a tsunami, yeah? If they didn't rig them, Nigeria won't be Nigeria. As they talk, Nigeria long baby. See the same thing now. Months ago, a lot of the obedient despised her. They despised her so much that they called her enabler. Why? She was said to have given Isa pandemic. Isa pandemic. The Boko Haram sympathizer. She gave him that useless professor that this weary is writing in front of his name. Professor Isa Pandemic. That's what this woman gave him. After some monetary inducement, others said she did in order to buy her way in becoming the real vice chancellor of that university. But today, this woman, is now in the good book of the Obedients for doing something right here, standing our ground here.
Reiterate my guiding principles since I started coalition activities for the Abia State governorship election on Sunday, 19th March 2023. 1. I am Professor Mrs. Nena N. Oti Ni Ibewu from Afibo, Abia State. 2. I am the current Vice Chancellor of FUTO, that is, the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. 3. Democracy remains the best form of government. And democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It is the best form of governance. 4. I have spent the better part of my adult life in pursuit of the high ideals of good governance, which includes, but are not limited to, the following: the rule of law, transparency, accountability, inclusiveness, etc. I shall stand squarely, unapologetically on these principles. 5. Therefore, the people's voice and mandate shall stand. The pastor in me and the mother in me also will not permit me to do anything that will adversely affect the future of our children. I shall do right by God and by man. 7. The position of INEC Abuja on the Obingwa case was already in the public view by a press release and indeed a press interview by Mr. Festus Okoye, the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, had called me and briefed me on the proper way to proceed. I shall therefore abide by all INEC guidelines. I shall now call the admin secretary. He has already done that. That is what I said. At this point on Monday, I then call the INEC admin secretary to read to us verbatim the press release. Thereafter, we continue.
That's all right, man. That's all right. Thank you. So, last, she declared Oti as the winner. So, Alex, meanwhile, in Enugu, similar scenario is playing out. One local government where PDP decided to load and overvote, and they are saying that INEC must declare PDP winner. And let Labour Party go to court. At least Shebi Obi went to court. Shebi Obi is in court now because it feels like it's rigged. They cannot afford to let INEC announce. And when you see their results, including rigging, anyway, listen to the guy. Duaga, so Enugu.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chijoke Edoga. I'm the Labour Party governorship candidate for Enugu State. Yesterday evening, we presented a petition to the Independent National Electoral Commission, elections collecting body with regards to what has happened in Kano East local government in the course of the conduct of the gubernatorial elections. Here is my petition. Petition against the non-usage of beavers in the conduct of the gubernatorial election held on 18th March 2023 in Kano East local government. The just concluded Enugu State governorship election is fraught with serious irregularities and fundamental flaws in the conduct of the governorship election held on 18th March 2023, particularly with respect to Kano East LGA of Enugu State. We humbly wish to bring these irregularities to the attention of the returning officer for appropriate action as provided in the Electoral Act of 2022. The Electoral Act and guidelines made pursuant thereto provides that the bimodal voter system, BVAS, is to be used for the conduct of the Guber and State House of Assembly elections nationwide. This is a mandatory requirement, and failure to comply with these requirements renders any result of such election invalid. The Commission, through several public service announcements, reiterated the centrality of the use of BVAS in the accreditation of voters through their permanent voters' cards and in the transmission of the results directly from the polling units to the INEC portal. Such election invalid. The Commission, through several public service announcements, reiterated the centrality of the use of BVAS in the accreditation of voters through their permanent voters' cards and in the transmission of the results directly from the polling units to the INEC portal. The provisions of the Act are very clear. And the consequences of such violations is the cancellation of the results. We note with dismay that this mandatory requirement of the Act was flagrantly disregarded by the officials of the Commission charged with the responsibility of conducting the Guber election in Kano East. It is evidently clear that the beavers, as required by the Electoral Act, were not used for the voters' accreditation. By virtue of the Electoral Act 2022, Section 47(3), the results from the entire Kano East should be cancelled. We therefore urge the returning officer to cancel the results of Kano East LGA election, which was conducted without the usage of beavers as required by the Act.
I will not allow you to. Help me. If they carry me, they go where I don't know. Help me.
Sorry, bro. I've just heard that the INEC have declared PDP as the winner of Enugu. Sorry, bro. So that means they told you to go to court. So una go meet for court with that.
Pastor, pastor, our mojo sticker ló show wa. Àṣé kò rí pé orí wa ti burú. Ìwọ má ti dá ìpá pààrà rin. Jẹ́ ká wà Bible tó ń jẹ. Ó jẹ́ gbé sa pé tàbí kò gbẹ́rì tí kò gbé tí a fẹ́ jókòó tẹ̀ra. Gbẹ́rì tí bá yọ píù. Àwòyí àárín. Ó mọ̀ ní pé wà nínú Bible pé ìgbà tó fẹ́ mú Jésù kọjá ní àárín òun ògèrí Jésù. Kí ni Jésù lò? Àfẹ́ rí ló lò. Ìwọ má ti dá ayé bàjẹ́.
Ikú pa o. So Kolu, who has absconded from Nigeria, and they said they went on to to rest and form his government. So that's going to take us back to Lagos now. Because in that same Lagos, where the UK embassy, been a UK government, they have issued a statement concerning the elections, right? So, and they say that they want to apply visa ban on some people who organize. So they are supposed to ban Tinubu, cancel his visa, everything, diplomatic or not, cancel everything. So it doesn't have diplomatic, by the way. So I'm just saying. So yeah, on his way to the UK. So Gbadebo Eko today gave a press conference detailed of what happened in Lagos. You probably will be interested. Let's key that in. I didn't tell you before, but it's worth it. Listen.
Good afternoon, Lagos. I start by once again thanking Lagosians for their courage, for making decisions based on hope and resisting fear that the ruling party tried to put in them. They came out in spite of all of that, and they showed remarkable courage. And I want to thank Lagos for that. Our message from when we first started and still till today, both His Excellency Peter Obi and myself, has always been about empathy, love, good governance that is both open and accountable. Yesterday, I spent my day visiting victims of Saturday's state-backed terrorism and violence. From Abule Ado to Surulere to Apapa to Ikeja, I met with young men and women that had bullets lodged in their chin, in their face. Just as about to come and take a seat here, I was told that one of our polling agents from Ward K1 in Trade Fair just passed away. I saw people with lacerations, cut all over their body, young men with fractured legs that we had to pay over 800,000 for their surgery. And I want to take this moment to reach out to all of these people that in spite of all the attempts to put fear in them, they stood against it and came out in hope and courage. That I am with you. We are with you. Myself, my deputy governor, the party, we are together, we are with you, we are by your side. And it is not just lip service. Today we launched the platform called grvcares2023.com. Please, anyone that has been a victim of electoral violence, log onto this website, upload evidence of this violence, upload your hospital bills, upload a police report if you have it, and we will offset your hospital bills. Because empathy and love is not just lip service, it's in the action. Love is action. And for people that came out in hope and courage, we are going to show that we stand by you, we value you, and we appreciate you. Yesterday, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu called for healing. But healing cannot happen without justice. The APC unleashed evil on Lagosians, spiritually with their fetish diabolic rites that were done during the day, and physically with violence that was unleashed on all Lagosians. There's an attempt to make this seem as though it was a Yoruba versus Igbo situation, and it was limited to certain areas, but it was widespread across the whole of Lagos. From Koshofe to Shomolu to Ikeja, everybody was affected. Everybody was disenfranchised. Yeah, they want peace, but it's not really peace that they want. They want the peace of a graveyard. They want healing without addressing the issues of bringing justice, so they want the healing of the dead. The thrust of my message is not to the evil cult organization of the APC, but it is to the indigenous Lagosians and Lagosians at large. We cannot afford to have an agberocracy, a militant type of government in Lagos State. We all believe that we had gone past this type of politics. We all believe that democracy had been deepened. But we saw not just violence and diabolic means of trying to restrain and belittle the people of Lagos to create a one-party state, all the way from Ikoyi to Ikeja to Ikorodu, were all disenfranchised. They could not campaign based on their past record, so they stoked ethnic strife. For the ambition of one man and his cult, the entire credibility that INEC had built over the last 4 years was ripped into shreds in one day. For the ambition of one man and his cult, We saw our traditional institutions reduced to pawns, to tools, or rites that were supposed to be done at night and witnessed by only the people that have been initiated into the Oro institution was being done during the day, invoking in broad daylight the spell that Senator Tinubu and his cult have used to keep Lagos bound. There was no election in Lagos State. It was violence at multiple levels, physically and diabolically. On this ambition, they sowed seeds that potentially can lead to things that we have seen in other countries like the Rwandan genocide. Seeds of discord, seeds that othered our neighbors and people that we have known and have balance and harmony in this state. My dear Lagosians, our enemy they are not our neighbors or our visitors or fellow Lagosians. Regardless of their diverse tongues, our common enemy is violence, insecurity, poverty, stagnation, corruption, and underdevelopment. And the same people responsible for all the things I've listed weaponize poverty and ethnicity to distract us from their evil endeavors and diabolical activities. We will never have free and fair elections under a Tinubu presidency because we can see by their antecedents, you can predict what is to come. Instead, we'll have a military-type one-party system that seeks to disenfranchise and suppress people as opposed to engaging the people, selling their mandates, accounting for the stewardship of whatever positions that they've had. We've seen it happen in presidential to a lesser extent, and we saw their entire vision for Lagos State on Saturday. They have tried to destroy years of delicately balanced ethnic relations, years of intermarriage and friendships, years of commerce, and years of building Lagos into the economic juggernaut that it is. I call on the silent majority, the decent and cultured Lagosians, to speak out. Silence in this regard is not golden. Silence in this regard is acceptance and support. And we cannot be silent. It is enough of the worst of us defining the rest of us. On Saturday, we saw the APC's vision for Lagos, an agberocracy, a government by the agberos, for the agberos, and for the thugs and people that choose to suppress the good people of Lagos.
Gbadebo and his own message is a call for action to condemn the rigging, not just the rigging, the violence that took place, the war that took place in Lagos, where people who went out to vote ended up in the ICU, in the hospital, and some of them ended up dead. Vote, so they want to go and vote. Jide Sanwo-Iku rigged the election, perpetuated war over the state he's been governing for 4 years. He declared war on his own people because he didn't want to lose election. He intimidated them, he threatened them. Almost everyone in that Lagos received their one threat or another, simply because that Sanwo-Iku didn't want to lose election. So after the killings, after the destruction, after all that, Sanwo-Iku woke up the Monday morning and he announced salary increment, 20% salary increment for all workers in Lagos State. 20%. Hey, the whole state still felt like somebody died over the weekend. Because even their godfather, the one that this man became senior advocate of nonsense or the senior advocate of nuisance, and he turned himself into a lying machine. Somebody did a program on Festus Otobokeyamo defending Kolu Tifnumbu. I'll share that with you.
One account, the one in Heritage Bank, that they took $460,000 as their tax on his interest, as tax on interest, that he benefited from the deposits he made, that the investments he made in those accounts.
$460,000 was forfeited, and it was forfeited with respect to violations of USC Code 1956 and USC Code 1957. It's clearly stated here in black and white. It has nothing to do with tax. And if you go into details of what the punishment is for Code 1956 and 1957, you will see that it is a fine of not more than $500,000 or prison time. And so $460,000 is less than $500,000. That was the fine. That was the forfeiture punishment for Bola Tinubu for the violation of these two.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I want to share that with you. Somebody did a sort of collection of Festus Otobokeyamo. The